Hello and welcome to Tech with Heart. My name is Michelle Calloway. Tech with Heart is all about empowering entrepreneurs to embrace technologies and systems and strategies that will help them stay competitive and relevant in a rapidly changing digital online environment. Today's topic is all about how to have a burnout-free marketing approach for small business owners. And with me, we have a very special guest who's very passionate about this topic because she does it for herself. She has to ask herself all of these same questions that you as a small business owner should be asking yourself to help you have a burnout marketing approach. Her name is Lisa Towles. She's an Amazon best-selling and award-winning crime novelist. I'm telling you, this woman and what she writes and her creative brain, it'll blow you away. She's passionate on topics of writing, creativity, and strategic self-care. She leverages her own skills as well as experts when marketing her books. And she has come up with some useful tips, and she's going to share those today to demystify the marketing quandary of, should I do this myself or should I outsource it? So welcome to the Tech with Heart show, Lisa Towles.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm excited to be here again.
Yes, we're excited to have you. You are just, like I said, mind-blowing in all that you do. And so I'm going to go ahead and get you started, like explain your process and how you've managed this quandary, right, that you have as a small business owner with only so many hours in a day, wearing all of these many hats, and now you're an author, you're writing, you're creating, you're publishing, you're amazing. So how do you go about this quandary, figuring it out?
I've come up with a way to survive the absolute utter overwhelm of digital marketing, whether you're a small business owner or CEO of a large company, or if you're an author. There are so many options now, and it's just dizzying. And so I found a way to kind of like simplify it into three little questions. The first question is it important? The second question is, do you have budget? And the third question is, do you have time? And the other considerations change depending on what those answers are. So if something is important, yes, you want to outsource it. You want to invest in experts for that higher quality. You've already established that it's important. So if you also have budget, you're going to allocate that budget, and that's worth your investment. And then do you have time? If you do, you're going to spend that time with an expert refining your output. So going back up to the top, if the task is not that important to your outcome and to your goals, but you still want to put a check in the box and it's something that would be nice to have, you can save money for more important tasks by doing it yourself. If you don't have a lot of budget, you can conserve costs by either completing the task yourself or leveraging a free online tool to learn how to do it. And if you don't have a lot of time, a lot of these DIY options are really quick to execute.
So that was a whole lot. I hope you're going to just take some time, maybe give us some examples. And, let's just use your book, for example. Can you share with us your latest release? And then in the process of creating this book, how you address those questions. Can you go ahead and break that down for us step by step?
Absolutely. So this is my latest book. It's called Salt Island. It's a series thriller, and it came out about a week ago. And for authors, really for authors and for entrepreneurs, everything's changed and everything is still changing. So the industry requirements of authors and business owners are just always in flux. And companies, when I say companies, I mean vendors, understand how easy it is to get overwhelmed. And so the tools are getting easier and easier to use, easier to learn and quicker to adopt so that we can put a check in that box. One example is designing ads and graphics to put on social media. People want a picture to look at, especially things like Instagram, which is all about high resolution images. Canva is a fantastic tool, and their consumer strategy is typical to a lot of other vendors. They offer free and paid features. So if you've got a small budget, you can absolutely find what you need with a free option. MailChimp is another tool that I use to manage my email list, and it's completely free up to like 500 names. So it's easy to troubleshoot with their online support and a wonderful resource if you're just starting to build out your community. And then once you get above 500 emails, you pay a small monthly fee to get up to like 1,500 or something. So there are a lot of tools like this that offer a free, a set of free features and also paid features.
So let me ask you, okay, so obviously you are the idea behind the book, right? And you wrote the book. Did you edit the book as well, or did you feel that that was an important enough task that it needed to be outsourced?
Thank you. Perfect example. I'm working with a small publisher, and my publisher has editors in-house that I wouldn't have to pay for, but my publisher is flexible enough where she feels like if there's an editor that I've already been working with, sure, I can work with that editor. She's not going to pay for it. I have to pay for it myself. And I do. She's fantastic. She has up-leveled my writing so much. I've learned so much for her. And that's a worthy investment for my outsourcing. You know, I mean, I think another misconception, Michelle, is that years ago, it used to be you either did everything yourself or you paid $20,000 for a publicist to help you. And it's not that way at all anymore. You can and we should be doing both. And so there's a lot that I do myself, but paying my editor, she's one of the experts that I absolutely want to leverage.
So when you were asking yourself the question, is it important? So that was obviously a yes. It's so important because like many business owners, like we have products or services that we're putting together, and there are certain aspects of putting those things together so that we can then make them sellable, that needs to be done at a high quality level so that it is indeed worthy of purchasing or investing in. So yeah, ask yourself, is this important enough to invest in somebody that's more professional at this one particular aspect of it than I, and that way you have that solid product. And then moving over into the actual graphical elements, or the, like you were saying, the designs and stuff for social media, obviously your book cover had to also be designed. Now, did you decide to do that yourself, or was it important enough for you to outsource that as well?
Another great example. Yeah, I work with someone named Tatiana from Vila Design, and she designed this cover, and she also designed the first book in the series. So you can see that it's kind of the same theme, and book 3 is going to have that similar theme, but just a different color scheme. She's someone that I absolutely want to invest in. She makes other graphics for me too, like social media banners on LinkedIn and on Twitter. And important magazine ads that need to be absolutely perfect and eye-popping. So, you know, again, a lot of the graphic design, I'm pretty good at like kind of low to mid-level graphic design. I can do a lot of it myself. I do use Canva. I use BookBrush, but for the things that are really important, Tatiana's, she's my go-to. Earlier in my career, it was really all and only about budget. How and when could I afford to bring in an expert to do something the right way? And budget was critical for me. As I evolved my marketing skills and expertise, I found ways to survive the overwhelm by these shortcuts, and they're an absolute survival tool. Knowing that they might not be done as well if I hired an expert, but they're good enough to get out there. And then later, as I began to realize that some tasks were so important, that's when I started really getting serious with myself, saying, I need a trained professional for this.
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you could use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of Revelio Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at revealio.com, and together we will make your business come alive.
The meat of the book is incredibly important, but you can't even get somebody to open the book if that book cover is lacking any kind of like, zazzle, right? So that I would say, yeah, if I were an author too, I would say that is a high value. So therefore I would lean on, making sure it gets done right. Now, taking things to the next level, you said, first you have to ask the question, is it important? And then the next question, let's keep going down this journey. Okay, so what was the second question that you ask yourself?
The second question is, do you have budget? Is it important? Do you have budget? And then do you have time? I mean, so like you might have an opportunity where someone says 75% off today on a half-page print ad in a magazine with 100,000 subscribers. That's critically important potentially to either an author or a small business owner. I mean, like what is our primary job? To be seen and to be memorable. And so a print magazine that people are going to have hanging around their house for a long time, or even a digital magazine, those are critically important with a potentially high audience. So there's not time to do it yourself, and you're going to have to hire someone who can do that and turn that around quickly.
So let's go back to the budget question. Do you have budget? Now, for some small business owners, they may say in their head, they're doing their budget all in their head. How many small business owners do that, correct? A lot of people do. Unfortunately, many small business owners spend all of their monies just producing the product or the service, and then they have nothing left for marketing. So then they're kind of like, ee. So they have to kind of try and figure out now how to do it all themselves without that being their expertise. And that's just so unfortunate. So let's just say a small business owner says, oh yeah, I've got, I put about $10,000 aside for marketing. You really need to understand what it takes to properly market your book, know exactly where your audience is so that you can market to them on those specific platforms so that you're not wasting any of your money. And then if you are going to invest in advertising, you have to also make sure, ask yourself this question, when somebody clicks on an ad, maybe you paid the advertiser to create the ad, it's a beautiful ad, oh, stellar. But then when somebody clicks on it, they get taken back to your website that you did yourself. And maybe you're not getting any conversions because, well, perhaps you didn't quite develop that landing page properly, or you're not giving enough compelling reason why people should opt in for something or click a button. And so, you got to kind of have all of those pieces. You need to know what those pieces are that's going to take it to be a full circle completion, from raising awareness about your product, service, and for instance, your book, to the point where the advertisement is getting out in front of the right audience at the right time. And then boom, where they go actually does create that sale. So lots to think about, and you need to write it all down and know what you have to spend on what, right, Lisa?
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. And honestly, I feel like there's no perfect solution and right way all the time for anyone. It really just depends on where you are in the process of launching a new product or launching a new book or advertising an event. It's not like a one size fits all, and whatever solution you find might not be the solution that you use the next time you're putting something out there to your community. It just kind of requires a little bit of reflection and assessment and asking yourself, what's really important and how am I going to use this? Another thing that I talked about is upskilling. I mean, part of the DIY is using tools to produce an artifact, to produce a piece of collateral, but you can also DIY the upskilling. You can educate yourself to learn how to produce something. LinkedIn Learning and also Google both offer free digital marketing courses. And then Udemy offers a digital marketing course for a small fee, but I think the LinkedIn Learning one, I think they have 12 different courses and they're all free, and it's a fantastic place to start. And then if you want to hire an expert, Michelle, I know your company Revealio, you guys are experts in marketing, media, and publicity, and I think you offer a lot of a la carte options too. You can choose this company for this, and you can do this part of it yourself. So I think that takes the flexibility, takes the overwhelm out of it for me. I don't have to necessarily do everything myself, and I don't necessarily need budget to outsource all of it. I can pick and choose and be strategic according to what I want to put out there to my audience.
Thank you for all of those examples and all of those resources, because there is a lot you can learn. Now, when I first started my business years and years and years ago, I was stepping into an unknown role of becoming a tech founder. My background is more visual communications. That's where my base comes from, is that graphic design, that digital media creation. So becoming a tech founder, I had a large learning curve, but it's okay. You know, you invest in yourself and you go and you learn. And then once you build something, you do need to educate yourself enough about marketing to understand what marketing really is. Lead generation is what marketing ends up producing. And you also need to then learn how to close a sale if you have to have a consultation involved, and maybe it's a high level offering. So it's not usually a click of a button on an online website where somebody is investing $10,000 or $20,000 into hiring you. So there's probably going to be a consultation. So then you need to start learning how to close. And that's the sales portion. So it's great. LinkedIn offers so many resources. I'm telling you, there is just really no excuse anymore. There's so many amazing resources available to you for free to educate yourself enough to know enough to be able to talk the talk with other experts so that you aren't feeling so vulnerable. I know a lot of small business owners feel vulnerable. Lisa, when you first got started, you started to go out and market. Did you feel at all vulnerable about talking to experts about things that you didn't really know about? So you didn't really know if you're being sold something you needed or not?
Totally. And I think what's really disheartening is that I see a lot of novice writers or small business owners just getting started. They see the options and they see the DIY and, oh, I'm not very technically proficient. No, I don't think I want to use that. And then they see someone who's an industry expert and they're like, oh, I can't really afford that, so I'm just not going to do it at all. And they kind of give up. And I did it myself. And I think it's very common. We say, oh, forget it. I'm just going to keep producing what I'm producing and the word will get out there on its own. And it doesn't, but you don't have to feel overwhelmed anymore. There are a lot of options. I've used Fiverr.com for a lot of my outsourcing. I've found experts to do just tiny little parts of things that I might be able to learn and do myself, but I don't have time. That's that time question again. I need to spend that time editing the book or writing some copy that I'm going to use for promoting it. You know, I mean, it's just a matter of being strategic. Again, what are you trying to do and why? And how is that going to bring you closer to where you want to be?
And that's a huge part of why Tech with Heart nonprofit has set up this network. We're trying to vet out the quality professionals that are also very heart-centered and really focused on their clients' success and not just taking money, making promises, and then, you know, leaving them high and dry. So because trust is a huge factor when you're spending money that you really kind of don't have and you're on a super tight budget, but you know you need the help, it's really nice to be able to go to a place like Tech with Heart Network and look at their member group and see who does offer something that you could really use, and you maybe feel a little bit like it's a warmer recommendation because they're already vetted. So thank you, Lisa, for all of that. I know that you mentioned technical expertise. With the all of this amazing AI, with all of these tools that are coming out that are, like you were saying, vendors are creating systems that are easier to use for the non-tech savvy entrepreneur. Can you talk to us a little bit about that whole, like, demystifying the need to have technical expertise in order to do these yourself?
Yeah, I think the tools are getting easier because I think companies get it. Companies nowadays, vendors are understanding how overwhelmed people get, how a lot of people are just going to say, oh, forget it, I'm just not doing it at all. I mean, people give up easily. I give up easily. I mean, my frustration, like especially right before a book launch, I'm just up to my eyeballs in it and I don't have time for anything other than what's immediately on my target. But like we were talking about earlier, sometimes there's a great opportunity. And if I've spent my entire budget, I don't have any left and I want to take advantage of this opportunity, I might look at what the opportunity is and say, I wonder if I can do that myself. I don't have any budget left. I don't have that much time, but I do know how to do this and this and this. Maybe I can do it. And more often than not, I can kind of figure it out. Why? Because the tools are getting easier and easier to use. It's quicker to learn something and be able to produce something really quickly than it was before. Most of these tools don't even have a user guide. You just figure it out. They might have online help. I know MailChimp has online support, and many tools have online support so that you can ask someone there or ask the community. And it's just getting easier and easier to do this. So I think by and large, do-it-yourself tools require less time and less technical expertise to be able to master, to put a check in that box and get the marketing collateral that you need to get yourself seen and be memorable to your audience.
Thank you so much, because you're spot on. And if you're a small business owner, you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but I don't even think I could grasp that. Even the simplest, I don't know, sometimes technology is just beyond me. I want you to stop, take a deep breath and ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you in business? Are you passionate about making a difference? Are you passionate about providing a solution that you know only you can really provide? Go back to why you're doing what you're doing, and then tell yourself, I can do this. I can do this. And then come join Tech with Heart Network and be encouraged. Reach out to myself, reach out to Lisa. She's amazing. Just say, hey, I just listened to your interview. You inspired me. I just struggle so much with this technology thing. How did you overcome that? And just reach out. That's why we're here. That's why we built this community. We want you to believe that you can indeed do this, because you can. So Lisa, I'm going to ask you, how can anybody that's tuning in right now reach out and have that conversation with you?
I would love to continue the with any listeners today. You can email me directly at lisamarietowles@gmail.com. You can go to my website, lisatowles.com. But if you email me, I'll be happy to continue the conversation. And I want to share whatever expertise I have with you to help you get to that next step. That's my desire and my passion. And I have learned from so many people who have given that expertise to me. And it's my pleasure to give it back.
And Lisa, your last name is spelled Towles. So Lisa Towles is her name.
Yep, Lisa Towles and lisatowles.com. And my email is lisamarietowles@gmail.com.
So what is one thought or phrase that you just want to leave impressed upon anybody that's tuning in today?
It's not all or nothing. You can do everything. You can hire an expert for 2 or 3 parts of your process, and you can do the rest yourself. You can learn how to use these tools very quickly, and the world is your oyster, and you can do all of it.
I believe you can. So if you are a small business owner and you're looking to be nurtured and encouraged and just be enlightened about different technologies that you can indeed start embracing into your own business, please join the techwithheartnetwork.com family. We are here to grow alongside one another. And if you're a business expert and you've been doing what you're doing and you're just crushing it, you're having so much success, it doesn't seem fair to keep it all to yourself. And you want to empower others to have that same level of success, please reach out to us. We'd love to interview you on the Tech with Heart show, because we're all about empowering and enlightening others to experience success in a rapidly changing digital world. Just go to techwithheartnetwork.com and let us know what you'd like to talk about. Let's connect. Let's make things happen. Let's have impact. Here is to your success.
Your story needs to be seen and heard, and your brand needs to be revealed. Revealio elevates purpose-driven businesses into the spotlight through video storytelling, augmented reality video marketing, and professional website design. Get discovered online or in the news. Be featured in national magazines or host your own TV, podcast, or live radio show. Together, we make your brand come alive. All it takes is Revealio. Visit Revealio.com to get started today. Minority and service disabled veteran owned.